You want to accuse me of being in an inappropriate relationship with my daughter? You guys have sick heads. How could that be the first thing you think about when a father hugs his... Answer the ones we feel comfortable answering.
Don't you love me and you know it makes me sad?
It's just a cigarette like you always used to do.
I was different then, I don't need them to be cool.
Today we'll be talking about a TikTok family that's unsettled many people on the internet, known on the app as the daddy-daughter dream team. Both Sarah and Patrick have recently drawn attention for their unusual and concerning online behavior. They first appeared on TikTok under the alias Just a Dad and His Ladybug, and almost immediately they attracted scrutiny for all the wrong reasons. Viewers were uncomfortable with their TikToks for several reasons, and they both appeared unusually close, often in ways that a father and daughter should not be. Holding hands, standing too closely together, and frequently dancing to songs typically meant for couples. These were some of the early signs that alarmed viewers. One of the videos that raised the most concern shows Patrick presenting his daughter with a purity ring while kneeling down in front of her. This moment led the internet to look more closely into the duo, and what people discovered went far beyond expectations. An AI account posting content linked directly to Patrick was uncovered. As the internet kept digging, the story continued to grow even more sinister. In fact, the recent developments surrounding the duo have literally left the internet horrified. If you have not been following this story, know that Sarah and Patrick's situation goes beyond typical lolcow controversies and enters truly dark territory. So watch with caution, as this story can be triggering for some viewers. Both Sarah and Patrick Getchell started creating videos on TikTok back in 2023. Sarah at the time was reportedly 20 years old, as their older account titled Just a Dad and His Ladybug was eventually wiped from the platform. There are very few archived videos from that period. However, one surviving video managed to capture widespread attention and even went viral beyond TikTok. In this video, Patrick can be seen presenting his young adult daughter with a purity ring. While this alone made many viewers uncomfortable, what raised even more concern was the way it was presented. Patrick went down on one knee in front of his own daughter, framing it in a manner that resembled a proposal.
I want to thank you for remaining pure. Okay? And I want to give you something.
What?
I want to give you something.
Okay.
Okay? So, Sarah.
Yeah. What are you doing? What? What is this?
Sarah, will you wear this ring as a sign and a promise to God and to me to remain pure until the day you're married?
Yes. That is gorgeous.
Give me your left hand. Okay. This ring will remain on your left ring finger until the day your husband puts another ring there in its place.
Okay.
As a sign that you will remain pure.
Nice.
I love you.
I love you too.
My sweet girl.
I like it.
The video immediately drew strong reactions. Many creators on TikTok began discussing how unusual and inappropriate their dynamic appeared. A large number of them also expressed concern for Sarah's well-being.
Should this father be responsible for his daughter's purity? This is Patrick and Sarah. They are the father-daughter duo that make up the Dream Team family. Sarah is in her 20s and she still lives at home with her family because she says she wants to. Sarah used to be a content creator on her own, but her father saw what she was doing and felt like she was headed in the wrong direction. So he stepped in, redirected her, and Sarah says he fixed her life. Now they're creating content together.
Let's compare the dad and daughter dream team proposals and how it's clear he's treating his daughter Sarah like his wife more so than his actual wife.
In regards to the father-daughter dream team scenario going on, here's my thoughts. She keeps saying that nothing's going on, which, fine, maybe nothing's going on physically, right? But as a society, we have boundaries with touch and space, usually with family that's just how things work, right? And even if nothing is going on physically, there's something strange going on emotionally.
Interestingly, as soon as people began taking notice of their account and pointing out how uncomfortable and withdrawn Sarah seemed in the video, the account was suddenly set to private. Not long after, it was permanently deleted from the platform. But that was far from the end. In fact, it marked the beginning of a new phase as both Patrick and Sarah reappeared on TikTok sometime later under a new alias. Their new account, titled Daddy and Daughter Dream Team, currently has over 73.4k followers. The earliest video on this account dates back to May 2023. At first, the content on this new account appeared relatively harmless. Viewers who were unaware of their earlier controversy flooded the comments with positive responses. Many seemed to enjoy their dance routines and participation in trending challenges. However, it didn't take long for people to start noticing something off about their behavior. For instance, Sarah and Patrick would often dance to songs that were suggestive in nature and typically associated with couples. They also appeared unusually physically close. There was frequent hand-holding, prolonged hugging, and a noticeable lack of personal space between them, behavior that many felt crossed typical parent-child boundaries. In several videos, the way they held hands and interacted while dancing led viewers to comment that they resembled a couple more than a father and daughter. What made things even more uncomfortable for many was the way that they often looked at each other in a seemingly affectionate and intimate manner. This aspect in particular left a number of viewers feeling uneasy.
If you hurt my girl, you will answer directly to me. And whatever
We both know.
One specific video that raised significant concern involved a dunk challenge. In this clip, Patrick is seen touching Sarah in ways that many viewers found inappropriate, such as stroking her neck, playing with her ponytail, and patting her head. The interaction appeared uncomfortable and concerning to a large portion of the audience.
What year was I born?
1981?
Good. Sorry, it's just getting warmed up here.
Yeah!
So, let's see. How old was I when you were born?
21?
Are you getting nervous?
No.
Okay. So, what's my favorite movie?
I know this one. The original Star Trek?
Nope. The Neverending Story.
Yeah, I knew that too.
At this point, many viewers began to feel that something was not right, and concerns for Sarah's well-being grew more serious. Patrick, in response to the growing criticism, eventually felt the need to address the negative comments in one of his TikTok videos.
Thank you all for the great comments. I know there's still some comments out there that are saying, oh, this is a little off, or blink 3 times if whatever. I don't care. These aren't going to affect us. They're not going to affect this channel. We're going to still bring you the dance trends that you love. We're going to still bring you the lip syncs that you love. So follow us and watch us grow. And
This video is strange because why would you even feel the need to address an allegation like this if you believe it's completely baseless? And Patrick and Sarah did not just respond once, they addressed it multiple times on their account. In another video where Sarah can be seen standing beside her mother, Teresa, wearing a shirt that says his ladybug, she makes a statement that many viewers found deeply unsettling.
So yeah, there's nothing else but dance trends and fun going on here. I promise.
Why would someone feel the need to say something like this? If nothing inappropriate is happening between Patrick and Sarah, why are they so insistent on repeatedly convincing their audience that everything's normal? This led many viewers to question whether Sarah was being influenced or coached on what to say. Across the platform, people began to feel that this dynamic did not appear healthy and that Sarah might be in a vulnerable position. While in many of their TikToks, Sarah can be seen initiating physical contact with her father or happily holding his hands, there are also moments where her body language appears more reserved and uneasy, at times leaning away or avoiding contact, while Patrick continues to move into her personal space.
Hello everyone, I'm Sarah and this is my dad Patrick.
we love to dance together.
And lip sync.
And get a little crazy sometimes.
Well, you do that normally.
You call me crazy?
That's like God love him, coming.
I'm not that big. Alright, guys. So. That's it. So, dress up yourself. It's actually really good.
Yep.
Yes, until next time.
Moments like these only intensified the scrutiny, and at this point, concern for Sarah had grown significantly. Some viewers even began reaching out to her directly, offering help and encouraging her to blink twice if she needed assistance. It's important to note that in situations involving manipulation or individuals may not always recognize or accept help. They may be conditioned to believe that their situation's normal, which is why some viewers believed Sarah might not see anything wrong herself if that were the case. At one point, Sarah posted a video where she appeared visibly frustrated by the ongoing accusations. Once again, she insisted that nothing unusual was happening.
So me and my family are out hiking right now, and we saw this comment and had to respond. But this is the last time I'm responding to comments like these. I post all the videos. I read every comment that you guys post. No, I don't need help. I'm perfectly fine. This is my father. We're doing dance trends and other trends on TikTok. There's absolutely nothing going on here. I don't need help. I'm fine. So just please stop commenting this stuff. I'm fine. You don't have to worry about me. I'm perfectly safe.
What stood out to many viewers in this video, though, was not just what she was saying, but how she appeared, looking tired, with a noticeably strained and worn expression. This led to further speculation about whether her discomfort in certain videos and her overall appearance could be linked to ongoing stress or pressure. While the frequent physical closeness, dancing to couple-oriented songs, and Patrick's behavior could, at a glance, be interpreted as an overly affectionate father-daughter bond, additional details that later surfaced added more weight to the concerns people were already raising. For example, it was revealed during a live stream that Sarah had been homeschooled beyond the age of 11. Some viewers speculated that this might explain why she appeared socially reserved, continued living with her parents at 21, and did not seem to have visible connections outside her immediate family. For many, that raised further concern about her level of independence. There were also instances where Sarah mentioned in comments that her father often chose her clothing, and that means clothes like this, and even this. He literally bought his daughter a dress that oddly resembled a nightgown, and she wore it to a dinner date with him. Another detail that unsettled many viewers was the family's living situation at the time they began posting on TikTok. The Getchell family was reportedly living in a one-bedroom motel or hotel room. Along with Patrick, Sarah, and her mother Teresa, the family also includes a teenage son named Hunter. This meant 3 adults and a teenager were sharing a very limited space, possibly with only one bed and a pull-out couch. For many viewers, this raised further questions, especially considering that Sarah was already an adult. On top of that, Sarah's mother Teresa was barely seen on camera. Although she often appeared to be the one recording their videos, she herself remained mostly absent from them. The explanation given was that she was highly introverted and camera shy.
Hello everyone. So we've been getting a lot of questions like this. Where's mom? Mom reveal. Here she is. This is my mother. Her and my dad have been married for 22 years. They are very happy. She just doesn't like appearing on camera very often.
Hi guys. Yeah, I don't like being in front of cameras, but I'm behind the camera. I'm with them all the time. I'm supporting them, and I have a part in it too. So yeah, you finally got to see me, and here I am.
What concerned the audience even more was that Teresa also did not seem to find anything unusual about the dynamic between her husband and daughter. She appeared supportive of their content and largely unaware of why it was drawing criticism. Some viewers also believe that Patrick and Sarah's reasoning that Teresa is camera shy and does not want to be in TikToks is also a lie, because at some instances during live streams, Teresa was seen eager to be on camera while the duo kept pushing her away. This clip sparked a lot of discussion about the role of Teresa in that family and whether she was purposely purposely kept away from this whole situation? As these questions continued to circulate and scrutiny around the family grew, their online presence suddenly shifted. Around May 2024, the Daddy and Daughter Dream Team account was deactivated. The exact reason remains unclear, but during this period, Sarah stayed active on her solo account, Made with Love by Sarah. On this account, she was mostly seen alone, posting dance routines, makeup transitions, and other trending content. Meanwhile, the main account featuring her father appeared to be gone, leading many to believe it had been permanently removed. However, almost a year later, in February 2025, the account was suddenly reactivated. Surprisingly, it retained its followers and previous engagement. Shortly after, they announced their return to TikTok.
The Dream Team is back. It's funny because I can't believe how this happened, okay? I was actually trying to create the new Dream Team account like we announced on Sarah's channel. And when I was trying to create the new Dream Team account, I was going to use the same email because I thought it was deleted a year ago.
Yeah, like we deleted it, so we thought it was gone. We didn't have any chance of getting it back.
Exactly.
This return marked the beginning of a new phase. More attention was drawn to the duo, and with that came increased scrutiny. Once the account was back, they resumed posting content similar to before. Dance trends, often to romantic songs, and videos where they appeared physically very close to each other. During one particularly uncomfortable live stream, Patrick was also seen interacting with Sarah in a way that many viewers felt resembled a romantic dynamic, while Sarah appeared visibly uneasy.
Okay, you need to go to bed.
Okay, pillow.
I am not a pillow.
You're not?
Nope.
Okay.
This led to another wave of negative reactions, and once again, both Sarah and Patrick responded with multiple posts insisting that nothing inappropriate was happening. In one video, they even attempted to explain why they were always touching each other in their videos.
Hugging.
Yeah.
Holding hands, touching. This is the way our family operates. Now, a lot of people have said, I don't see you touch your wife like that much, or your son. Well, that's because they're not on camera all the time. We are.
Yeah.
I assure you that during the course of the day, I hug Hunter several times, my wife quite a lot. We are a family that loves to hug and touch and hold hands. I hold hands with my wife. I hold hands with Hunter. She does
I
too.
hold hands with Hunter. I hold hands with Mom. I hold hands with him.
This is how our family dynamic is. And honestly, the fact that so many people find it weird, it may be to you. And if that's your family dynamic, then fine. Some people said, I don't hold my dad's hand. Well, that's your business.
That's your choice.
People watching this video were definitely not convinced. Many found it unusual that both of them felt the need to address something they claimed was completely false with such intensity. If there was nothing to it, why continue posting lengthy videos trying to justify it? From Sarah and Patrick's perspective, it was simply trolls with inappropriate assumptions trying to twist their content into something it wasn't. But at the same time, they would go on to post content like participating in a bikini trend together that many viewers felt only added to the discomfort and confusion. We don't know what kind of environment they grew up in, but in a normally functioning setting, an adult daughter posting a bikini trend alongside her father is something many people would find an unusual and difficult thing to overlook. Seeing the volume of negative comments on their account and the controversies that were steadily piling up, Patrick decided in April 2025 that he and Sarah would no longer engage in physical contact in their videos. He posted a lengthy video announcing his decision, and for the time being, he did follow through with it.
We're going to back off. Okay, we're still close. We're still going to be together. We're still going to be doing this together. But we're not going to have to do all the hugging. We'll stand separately when we talk. We'll do all that so that it doesn't appear to be a problem. And, that's something we should have done, and I'm sorry.
But there were developments on the horizon that would take this story into an even more concerning direction. While the Daddy and Daughter Dream Team account was gaining traction for all the wrong reasons, another online space connected to both Sarah and Patrick was also drawing attention. This was a Reddit snark page dedicated entirely to discussing them. People were regularly visiting this subreddit to piece together more information about the situation. Then around May 2025, users came across something that immediately sparked widespread discussion. It was discovered that both Sarah and Patrick were allegedly connected to an AI-generated adult account under the name Ariella Brigman. This Ariella persona appeared to exist across multiple platforms: Instagram, Reddit, Twitter, and even OnlyFans, where it consistently posted explicit adult-oriented content. But how exactly exactly was this account linked to Sarah and Patrick, and how did people even come across it in the first place? The starting point was a video posted by Sarah on her solo account. In this clip, she appears to be lip-syncing to a highly unusual AI-generated song. While the strange nature of the audio itself caught some attention, what stood out more was the source of the song, an AI account listed on Spotify. As people began digging further, they found that several social media profiles were tied to the name Ariella Brigman, an AI adult model. These accounts were consistently posting explicit imagery. Most notably, the account appeared to follow Sarah, and it was not an account that followed many people back. There were additional connections as well. On one of Ariella's Instagram posts, a like was traced back to an account named Future SeaWorld Trainer, which is known to belong to Sarah. It's also widely known among viewers of their content that Sarah has expressed a strong interest in becoming a trainer at SeaWorld, making this connection stand out even more. But the links did not stop there. On Ariella's Venmo account, the cover image features a book, one that was co-written by Patrick and Sarah themselves. The book, The Firebound Harmony, was published on April 2024, and both of them had spent a considerable amount of time promoting it on TikTok. And now, strangely, its cover is on the Venmo page of an adult AI model. While there is limited concrete evidence, some Reddit users also claimed that Patrick's personal accounts were interacting with this AI model online, which many people found deeply unsettling. At this point, with multiple connections seemingly tying Ariella back to both Patrick and Sarah, a large number of people following the situation were convinced that the account was not random, but somehow linked to them. What's strange is that the moment people on Reddit discovered this unsettling AI character and began digging deeper into the accounts connected to it, those accounts were suddenly shut down. It led many to believe that Sarah and Patrick may have been monitoring the subreddit themselves, and as soon as they realized the accounts were being exposed, they quickly removed Ariella's presence from the internet. Shortly after this, Sarah posted a video on TikTok denying any connection to inappropriate AI content.
And finally, there's a rumor going around that my dad and I created an AI that made spicy content on OnlyFans. Their whole basis for this accusation is that this AI posted a song. I saw it on TikTok and I liked it, so I made a lip sync. I also followed the account in case they posted more music I liked. Excuse me for liking an AI song, but that does not prove that we were behind the account. As for the spicy content they allegedly posted, we would never post content like that. Hell, we don't even know how to use AI like that. The most we've done with AI is get a few name ideas for characters in our book. Well, there you go. I finally addressed what everyone wanted me to address. Thank you for boosting our account by nearly 600 followers in a single day. We do appreciate it so very much. Until next time, remember to stay...
In the video, she claimed that they were not behind the Ariella Brigman accounts, and instead they did not even know how to use AI. However, this claim raised further skepticism, as many viewers pointed out that their book cover itself appears to be AI generated. They'd also had previously created and shared AI-related content tied to their book. Additionally, several readers on Goodreads have left reviews suggesting that the writing felt heavily AI-assisted. So, if they were being untruthful about their use of AI, many believed it was possible they were also being untruthful about their connection to Ariella. At this point, Sarah and Patrick's story had taken a much more concerning turn. Until now, most of the attention had been focused on their unusual TikTok content, but with the discovery of Ariella Brigman, many felt there was something more serious beneath the surface. As a result, online investigators became even more determined to uncover what was really going on. The next discovery that circulated online involved Patrick's family background. According to claims shared by users, Patrick's had two brothers who were listed on his offender registry. He also admitted to maintaining contact with them in one of his videos. This detail deeply unsettled many people, especially considering he has children of his own, including a minor son.
That is, perfect example, they brought up my brother's convictions. Yes, my brothers were convicted as sex offenders. That's their problem, not mine. Okay, yes, I still talk to my brothers. They're my brothers. Hello. I mean, I don't condone their crimes, but you don't abandon family. They pay their price to society. Leave them alone.
For many viewers, this raised further questions about the environment he came from and the influences around him. Around this time, both Sarah and Patrick continued to firmly deny any connection to the Ariella Brigman accounts. By removing those accounts, it appeared as though they believed the issue had been resolved. However, that was not the case. Soon after, users began tracing their activities to another platform called Lit Erotica, a website known for user-submitted fictional stories with adult themes. On this site, people found accounts that they believed could be linked to either Patrick or Sarah. One account, account named Babe for Dad featured stories centered around a father-daughter relationship, which many found highly disturbing. Adding to the suspicion, the profile picture of this account appeared similar to the cover of Sarah and Patrick's book, Firebound Harmony. While some users remained uncertain about whether this account was directly connected to them, there was another account on the platform that drew even stronger reactions, an account named Miss Ariella. This suggested that the Ariella Brigman persona was not limited to platforms like Instagram, Reddit, or TikTok, but may have also extended to lit erotica where similar themes were being posted. The discovery of this account led to many questioning whether all of the other AI accounts were being operated solely by Patrick. The nature of the content associated with these accounts intensified concerns that had already been building around their online presence. At this point, even some creators who had previously given Patrick the benefit of the doubt began to reconsider their stance. Many started to believe that there could be deeper issues at play and that Sarah's situation might be more complex than it initially appeared. As discussions and speculation continued to grow, around August 2025, Sarah posted on TikTok announcing that the Dream Team account was no longer active and that she would be continuing on her own moving forward.
Well guys, here I am. I'm sorry to say, but the Dream Team is gone. We just couldn't post content together anymore knowing how people saw it, especially with the latest bull they're trying to spread. All the rumors are false, but there's nothing I can do. People are going to believe it, and I can't stop them, so we're done creating content together.
Soon after making this announcement and distancing herself slightly from her father, Sarah claimed that she had finally moved out. She also stated that she had gotten a job. According to her, she had moved into a new apartment located about 30 minutes away from her parents and was now focusing on her own growth and independence.
We got it. We picked up the keys this morning, we signed the lease, we paid the first month's rent. Our new apartment is officially ours. So enjoy some clips of the new place, and yeah, we move in tomorrow.
During this time, Sarah posted a number of moving into a new apartment videos. She even gave viewers a tour of her new place.
I wouldn't do a full apartment tour, but I figured I'd give you guys a little taste of what my apartment looks like. So this is my bed. As you can see, Jackie has kind of taken it over, but I set it up over here in the far corner along with my nightstand with some plants and my books. And then this is my dresser area. I have some pictures of my grandpa, our first ever copy of our book, and something playing on the TV. I can't even remember what was playing at the time I filmed this. I put some of my plants up there too. Yeah, I love it. And then this is my filming area, my basically quote-unquote living room. I've got my couch with my nice fuzzy blanket over the back of it. That is so comfortable, by the way. And my nice little backdrop that looks like a bookshelf. I like it. And then this is my table, my coffee table. Yes, that is a Christmas tree. Don't come for me. I love Christmas. And then a couple of my other plants next to it. I know the tablecloth is blue, but that will be changed to pink very soon. And then this is my kitchen area. I've got my pink dinnerware set, my pink knives. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any pink dish soap, but blue works just as well. Besides that, the platinum, and I love Dawn Platinum. It's just so easy to clean. And then my closet area, I've hung up my dresses, my nice shirts. I'm gonna get some more hangers to hang up more of my clothes, and I've got my hanging storage container that I put my towels in, and that at the top is my old Girl Scout sash. And here's a little clip of Jackie enjoying her new toy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this sort of apartment tour. Yeah, I love my new apartment. I'm so happy with how it turned out, and I hope you guys love it too. See you next time. Bye.
For a moment, people felt genuinely happy for her, especially those who believed she might have been in a vulnerable situation. Seeing her move out gave the impression that she would finally have her own life, earning her own money, possibly making new connections, and gaining clarity about everything people had been pointing out for so long. But that is not how things unfolded. If anything, the situation took a very dark turn. It later appeared that Sarah had not actually moved out of the extended stay living space she shared with her parents, and that the entire situation may have been misrepresented. As soon as she began claiming she had moved out, viewers started noticing that her new apartment looked strikingly similar to her previous living space. She appeared to have the same small bed, which resembled a fold-out. Not only that, but people on Reddit pointed out that she seemed to be using the same utensils that had previously been seen in Patrick's kitchen. The layout of her apartment also appeared very similar to her parents' living space. The kitchen in particular looked nearly identical identical. The bathroom where Sarah filmed several of her videos also appeared to match the one from her previous setting. On top of that, viewers noticed that whenever Sarah showed her apartment, she avoided giving a full view. Instead, she focused on filming specific angles and close-up shots of certain areas. This led many to question whether she had actually moved out at all or if the entire situation was being misrepresented. Then, more recently, during a highly controversial interview that both Patrick and Sarah gave to a creator named Hannah, Sarah clarified that she had not moved 30 minutes away, but rather to a nearby building, seemingly confirming the audience's suspicions.
So people are curious then if you got your own apartment. I think in one of your actual comments to somebody else, you had said you're about 30 minutes from your parents. So how are you getting transportation back and forth to, your job and seeing your parents every day? Are they coming to you? Are you going to them? Are you Ubering? Like, kind of what does that look like?
Okay, well, first of all, I want to make this very clear. I did move out, but I didn't move far. I moved to the next building because it's easier that way. That way they don't have to go very far when they need to pick up Jackie, because again, I don't want to leave her alone for 10 hours per day with her anxiety issues. But it's like, I take Uber back and forth to work because it's really the only logical way to get to work. Like, a bus ticket is like $5. Well, actually Uber's more expensive, but I prefer Uber because I don't want to take a bus to work, so I Uber back and forth to work, and they just come pick up Jackie and take her to their apartment, and then, And the reason I don't show my whole apartment is for my own personal safety reasons, because I just don't, like, that's like my own space. I just don't want to be showing my entire personal space online.
And, of course, I guess it probably would be a good idea to explain why you lied about being 30 minutes away.
It's because I don't really know how to explain it. I didn't want people to, like, come at me because I didn't move farther away. Like, I didn't want to be, bullied into, like, why didn't you move further away? Why did you only move out of the building? It's personal safety reasons. Like,
even after this explanation, many people remained unconvinced. Some believed there was still more being left unsaid, and that she may not have changed her living situation as much as she suggested. During the interview, she did not address why her apartment looked so similar to her parents' space, or why she had been hesitant to show the full layout on camera. This only strengthened the belief among viewers that she may still have been living with her parents. Those suspicions were later reinforced when Sarah admitted in one of her videos that she had not actually moved out, and that she had created that impression to reduce the attention and speculation surrounding her situation.
Everyone, so I've been thinking long and hard a lot recently, and I can't move forward with content without apologizing to everyone. I never moved out. I only made that up because I was so tired of all the hate and everyone constantly telling me to move out. I know it was wrong to deceive everyone with the wish list. I am so sorry that I misled everyone. I did use everything that was gifted to decorate my room, but that doesn't excuse asking for it under the guise that I had my own apartment.
The revelation led many to question the credibility of both Sarah and Patrick, as they had made multiple statements that did not fully align with what was later revealed. Faking a move-out situation in response to ongoing scrutiny raised even more concerns about their overall dynamic and the image they were trying to present online. And this was not the only aspect of their behavior that people found distressing. One of the more disgusting patterns that viewers began to notice was their apparent fixation on Jenna Frank. If you don't know, Jenna Frank is the daughter of Jason David Frank, the actor best known for playing the Green Power Ranger. Since her father's passing, Jenna has taken it upon herself to carry forward his legacy, attending fan conventions, doing meet and greets, and connecting with longtime fans of the franchise. In this process, she's built a solid following of her own and established herself as an influencer in her own right. What's strange, though, is how both Sarah and Patrick seem unusually fixated on Jenna. Ever since Sarah joined TikTok in 2023, she's brought Jenna up repeatedly, tagging her in posts and stories, and even referring to her as her bestie on multiple occasions. She would also consistently attend Jenna's meet and greet events, posting photos with her each time. At one point, viewers even celebrated with her when she managed to get Jenna's number during one of these interactions. But admiration can very quickly cross into something else, and in this case, it started to feel deeply parasocial. Despite never spending time with Jenna outside of paid meet and greets, never forming any visible real-world friendship, and having no meaningful interaction beyond social media, Sarah seemed convinced that they shared a close personal bond. She appeared determined to present this narrative publicly, even though there was little evidence to support it. The situation only became more unsettling over time as Sarah reportedly wrote a romantic song about Jenna, which already raised eyebrows.
Laugh like sunshine through the rain, and somehow take away the pain. Even while you're close to me, that's just how it's meant to be. You and me, birthday twins from the start, same day, same spark, 2 years apart, but the love we share is bigger than time. You're always with me in heart and mind. You're like the world with the joy you bring. Lift people up just by being. I'm so proud of who you are. You're my best friend, my northern star.
Amidst all of this, Patrick's behavior added another layer of discomfort. He would frequently tag Jenna in his own posts, sometimes in contexts where it made little sense, even excluding mentions of his own wife and son. In one instance, he went as far as referring to Jenna as family, which many viewers found highly inappropriate. At first, this behavior was simply seen as odd, but things took a much darker turn when people began connecting it to the Ariala account. When comparing the AI-generated model to real photos of Jenna, many noticed a striking resemblance. To a lot of viewers, Ariala Brigman did not just look generic, it looked like an AI version of Jenna herself. Once this connection started circulating, people began reaching out to Jenna in large numbers, commenting on her content to alert her that both Sarah and Patrick might have created an AI account using her face. Although Jenna did not publicly respond to these claims, she did take action, blocking Sarah and her entire family shortly afterward. And honestly, that reaction made sense. If the allegations were even partially true, it would be an extreme violation of privacy and boundaries. During their live interview with Hannah, both Sarah and Patrick addressed the situation, but instead of acknowledging the clear imbalance in their relationship, they doubled down. They continued to insist that Jenna was genuinely Sarah's friend, rather than someone who was simply being polite and professional during fan interactions.
It's unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate because she was my best friend.
And I know that people were messaging her with exactly that because I'd seen it on Reddit. I was hoping that she wouldn't believe it. I was hoping that she would at least ask us about it, because her reaction when we saw her at events was always over the top. Like, she was so happy to see us. She'd run to us immediately, give us hugs. She was our friend.
Yeah, there was one we went to in Oklahoma City, and we got there before her, and when she saw us through those doors, her face lit up like a Christmas tree, and she went immediately to give us a hug.
It's weird how Patrick said she was our friend about a girl who is a lot younger than him. It's totally weird and creepy for a middle-aged man to be obsessed with a 22-year-old supposed friend of his adult daughter. During this interview, Sarah also spoke about being blocked, claiming it happened out of nowhere and suggesting that trolls may have influenced Jenna's decision.
Showed her the song I made for her, and she was happy to see us like she always is. And then the day after we got back, I went to Instagram to check on her story and just like see if she had seen mine, because I posted a story about it. I wanted to see if she had seen it, and I got a reply from her. And then shortly after that, I went back to Instagram and it looked like I had been blocked. And we thought it was just an Instagram glitch because that's happened before. You know, we've been accidentally blocked on another social media, and we fixed it. She was apologetic and we fixed it, but this time she did actually block me, and I didn't get a reason. I didn't understand why she did it. I didn't get any kind of explanation. So I think maybe some trolls were like messaging her or emailing her saying that, you know, what you said, that the AI account resembled her, and she believed it and blocked me. And like he said, we haven't messaged her because we don't want to come off as stalkers. We just, I don't understand. I don't know why she blocked me. It's just like she said before that, you know, she gets it all the time, but I think maybe she believed them and blocked me, so.
It's unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate because she was my best friend.
Up until this point, both Patrick and Sarah had been fiercely denying any connection to the Ariella Brigman accounts. At the beginning of their interview with Hannah, they were just as adamant, claiming they had never created or operated any kind of AI account whatsoever.
You guys make it, and it's unfortunate that it got caught, but it had nothing to do with yours and Sarah's relationship. It was just something to make some money.
No, we did not create that account. I mean, honestly, I'm being completely honest with you. I have no idea what went on with that. All I know is I would never create an account like that. Now, granted, we did like a couple of her posts, or one of her posts in particular, because it was like some Christmas thing, and Sarah saw it after she found the song and wanted to support her in like a contest or whatever.
When you look at how strongly they were shutting down these accusations, it's important to note that this tone doesn't stay consistent. In fact, it shifts notably as the interviewer goes on. But before getting into that shift, there's one major detail about Patrick that had been intentionally held back, and that is the Miss Ariella account on Literotica. This account is widely considered one of the most damning pieces of evidence tied to him. For many people following this entire situation, this was the moment where speculation started to feel a lot more concrete. It pushed a lot of viewers to believe that Patrick wasn't just misunderstood, but potentially far worse than initially assumed. On this Literotica account, users came across a story titled Me and Dad Chapter 1, The Beginning. Even without going into explicit detail, the premise alone was enough to raise serious alarm bells. The title itself suggested an inappropriate dynamic, and the opening line made things even more disturbing. Daddy and I finally get the relationship we both need. The story starts with this paragraph. Hello, my name is Ariella. I've been wanting to tell my story for a long time, but it isn't something I can really talk about with a lot of people. Even living in Rhode Island, where incest is legal, it's still frowned upon and considered wrong. I really don't understand why. What difference does it make if family members want to be sexually involved? Hell, nowadays it's acceptable to engage in activity with multiple people that you barely know, but not the people you are closest to and have a bond of trust with. After this, the story gets much more disgusting. The entire thing feels like a confession coming directly from Patrick. The story was enough for people to know what kind of person Patrick really is and what dark fantasies he truly has. While this story was a damning piece of evidence against Patrick, he still continued to deny owning the AI accounts or having any connection to the Lit Erotica story. However, that changed during the interview with Hannah when Patrick, in a moment of weakness, ended up admitting to everything.
Honestly, you know what? Honestly, yeah, I created the Ariella account. I made that account.
Patrick, thank you. You have been set free, man. You're set free. Doesn't that feel good? Sarah, give your father a hug. Give that man a hug, because that is the most amazing thing you could have done for yourself. Really, I'm air hugging you. Good job. Seriously.
This became one of the biggest turning points in the entire saga. For the first time, it was confirmed by Patrick himself that all the AI accounts were created by him. It also cleared up earlier suspicions from people who believed Sarah might have been behind them, especially since she had lip-synced to one of the AI-generated songs. But here's the thing. Even if Sarah didn't create those accounts, her reaction to her father admitting that he ran an adult AI account with a face resembling Jenna Frank was still very strange. She didn't appear shocked or disturbed at all. If anything, it seemed like she already knew about it and was continuing to support her father regardless. Her unusually calm response and the fact that she leaned in to hug him right after he made that admission felt deeply unsettling to a lot of viewers. Another disturbing aspect of this interview was Patrick continuing to deny writing the Lit Erotica story. While he admitted to creating Ariella, he remained adamant that he had nothing to do with the story he posted on the adult website. According to him, someone else was trying to frame him.
To be completely honest, I was really close to telling the truth until the Lit Erotica account was found, and that scared the hell out of me.
Because he thought that people were gonna think that was him, and when he told me that people had a Lit Erotica account, he told me he was scared because he thought that people were gonna connect that with him, and because he knows he can't write that stuff. That's what scared him, is because they thought it would be connected to him, and he knows, we all know for a fact that he could never, ever write that stuff.
So, I'm a writer.
It's very hard to believe that Patrick is telling this truth here because of how compulsively he has lied throughout his entire internet journey. Everything that's come out of his mouth in the past few years has turned out to be a lie. Shortly after this interview went live, some private messages between the interviewer, Hannah, and Patrick were leaked online, revealing the extent of his dishonesty. This exchange showed how vile and disturbing Patrick really was and left no doubt that he was involved in something sinister. So yes, I wrote that story. That's the only story like that I've ever written. It was complete fiction, and it was hard for me to even write it. I was being stupid and trying to get traction for the whole AI account. And as terrifying as it is, most of the top read stories on Lit Erotica are from that category. There, I said it. Now you know everything that we have lied about except for one thing. Sarah never moved out completely. We got a 2-bedroom apartment at the extended stay, and the second bedroom has a second kitchen on the door, so it's kind of like the same, but not really. So many people were pressuring her to move out that she just wanted to try and get a break from it all, and she didn't want to leave TikTok, so she felt it was better to just make people believe she left. That is it, and that is the full truth. But in order to truly understand how I could possibly justify trying to make money off that, then my life and the events leading up to it are even more important. So do with this info what you will. If you are willing to hear the rest, then I will put together a biography of my life as short as I can make it. Somehow Patrick seems to believe that writing a biography and sharing his background will excuse him for creating such disturbing fiction. From the way he speaks, he comes across as a highly manipulative and intelligent person. Now imagine Sarah growing up under that kind of influence. The way he lies and then twists narratives is genuinely unsettling. The strangest part about this lit erotica story is that Patrick allegedly wrote it after starting TikTok at a time when rumors about him and Sarah already suggested an inappropriate relationship. Addressing this during his conversation with Hannah, Patrick said, "I will admit that choosing that specific topic was probably the absolute stupidest decision of my life. With all the rumors about Sarah and I should never have even considered it. I literally dug my own grave and buried myself with that one stupid choice. If I had written just a normal erotic story, then all of this would be a non-issue. But I had to try to boost popularity by writing something that would be read by lots of people, and the top read stories on lit erotica are from that category. So as they say, the rest is history." It appears that Patrick's unusually disturbing behavior wasn't just noticed by people online, but also by individuals who may have interacted with him in real life. According to a comment left under a video, one person claimed that Patrick had also taken advantage of Teresa when she was younger. The commenter stated that she knew Teresa when she worked at McDonald's. According to her, Patrick entered Teresa's life suddenly, and not long after, Teresa moved out and chose to be with him. The commenter also mentioned that Teresa has certain mental limitations. While the exact nature of these was not specified, she suggested that Teresa required guidance and support in daily life, and that Patrick may have taken advantage of that vulnerability. She further claimed that Teresa's family was against the relationship from the beginning. According to this person, Teresa's brother is now aware of Patrick's TikTok content featuring Sarah and finds the dynamic deeply concerning. He reportedly wants both his sister and his niece to be removed from that environment. In an attempt to verify the credibility of this claim, Reddit users looked into the commenter's background and found that she had interacted with Teresa on social media. This led many to believe that she may have actually known Teresa in real life, adding some weight to her statements. But despite all the concern people had, it didn't seem like much actually changed in the Dream Team universe, except for the fact that they briefly disappeared from the internet. As soon as the interview went live and the backlash began, both Sarah and Patrick went silent for a while. After this short break, they returned, promising to rebrand their content and focus only on posting things that were positive and uplifting.
I took some time to reset and refocus and really think about what I wanted to create and share moving forward, and I'm honestly really excited to be here again. Going forward, this page is going to be all about fun, creativity, and everyday life. I'll be posting things like TikTok shop finds, get ready with me videos, and just content that feels light, positive, and real. I'm choosing to focus on the present and what's ahead, and I'm really grateful for the people who are here for that energy. I also wanted to share that the Dream Team channel will be back soon. We're just taking a little time to clean up some older videos and get everything organized before jumping back in.
From this point onward, they stayed active on both their family account and the Dream Team account. However, more recently, the Dream Team account has been taken down altogether. On their family TikTok page, Sarah and Patrick posted a video announcing that the account would no longer exist and that all future content would now be shared exclusively on their family platform.
Hi guys, so tonight we have a little bit of sad news.
Yeah.
The dad and daughter Dream Team is leaving TikTok forever.
Yep.
So there will be no more dad and daughter Dream Team content. But
There's some good news mixed in.
there is some good news.
Yeah.
The Getchell family is here to stay.
Yep.
So we will be rebranding our channel. We have added we're adding brand new segments for each family member.
Yep.
The exact reason behind this decision is unclear, but it does seem like an attempt to rebrand and possibly shift public attention. As of now, they continue to post as if none of the controversy ever happened, going live regularly, uploading cooking videos, and even asking for donations despite everything that's surfaced. For many viewers, it's deeply unsettling to see Patrick still living freely and continuing life as usual alongside his daughter. Even those who previously had doubts now seem largely convinced that the situation deserves serious scrutiny. This has easily become one of the darkest stories covered on this channel, so much so that certain elements, like the lit erotica content, can't even be fully discussed here due to how disturbing they are. In the end, the hope remains that Sarah recognizes the seriousness of the situation and finds a way to step out of it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Why are my cookies? Why are my cookies?
Bro, is that serious for some cookies, bro?
I want my cookies! I want my cookies! I want my cookie.
TikTok.
She just don't like the way people feel about
This is gonna be my last time posting Jaleel on my TikTok because I woke up and they talking about she and her feelings and stuff like that because they.
Jaleel, come on, baby.
It's gonna be my last time posting Jaleel on TikTok, bro. Because I woke up this morning, her and her mama talking about they don't like how people talking to her. I just woke up to some crazy stuff, which I talk to Jaleel about it every day. So I told them I'm not trying to hear what they talking about, but this is gonna be the last time y'all see Jaleel on TikTok, bro.
Imagine being a plus-sized child trying to navigate a world of bullies and then having to suffer the worst treatment from your own family. Meet Jaleel, a 9-year-old whose life has officially been made a spectacle in the most unpleasant way. And her oppressor? Well, here's where it gets even more interesting because it's her supposed stepdad championing the whole damn thing while her mom stands by and watches. Oh, and her siblings often like to get some of the action too. From rage baiting the poor girl and then gaslighting her into believing she's in the wrong, to making her eat extra and then shaming her while recording and posting her entire life on TikTok. Oh, and we can't really ignore the fact that Jaleel has got a few bad characters of her own for sure. But you'll also find that it's the so-called parents enabling these characters in the name of clout chasing and not minding the toll it's taking on the little girl. Now you just gotta wonder how far they're willing to go for social media fame and the bucks that come with. And best believe you won't like the answer you'd get.
I was driving to work today.
Why you do that?
I mean, the so-called stepdad has even been accused of filming and posting inappropriate, sensitive family moments online. Yeah, it's downright nasty, and in another saga, Child Protective Services has allegedly had to interfere and are threatening to take the kids away. But that's not even the first time.
This is what y'all wanted to see, huh? This is what y'all wanted to see, huh? This is what y'all wanted to see. All they still packed up, huh?
So how does this controversy really run? Why is the entire internet talking about Jaleel? And most importantly, where's the mom in all of these? Well, come along as we uncover the truth about this suspicious family dynamic and why they're destroying one of their own for clout.
Stop, bro.
Why did she say stop, bro?
Stop. They keep on teasing me.
How they teasing you, bro? She wanna cry, bro.
Now, if you just watched that clip and you're wondering why they're teasing and trying to trigger that little girl, well, you'd probably be even more pissed to find out that it's all just TikTok content at her expense, and obviously without her consent too. Yeah, you heard that right. But before we get into the more complicated topic of consent, why don't we first of all address the elephant in the room? See, Jaleel isn't just your regular kid. She's obviously slightly obese, and it's not hard to see why.
This girl over here eating the sister noodles and her food. Jaleel, stop doing that. How you gonna eat your sister noodles and your whole child?
Yeah, the little girl has got what you would typically consider an unhealthy relationship with food, and it's pretty much why she's being made an object of ridicule by the people around her, and that's one major controversy here.
Oh, nothing. It's not nothing.
How you gonna say nothing? I done already caught you. What's that?
Nothing.
Let me see.
Nothing.
Let me see.
Nothing.
What's that?
Nothing.
Okay, let me see. Let me see.
5 pizza.
Dad, girl, you just ate some noodles.
Is it? But I want more.
You lucky, bro. A little pack of noodles ain't gonna do nothing for you. Better give me a slice of that pizza, though.
Okay.
The video shows Jaleel trying to stuff herself with more food after already eating noodles. Yeah, perfect example of her gluttony, but we'll get back to that in a minute. According to the information available and what we can see from the videos of the family, Jaleel is the youngest child of her mom, who goes by the name Jazz, and often features in some of the videos.
I used all the race. Whoop-de-doo. Oh, my whoop-de-doo.
Oh, that waffle good.
Hola.
Whoop-de-doo.
She's also got 3 older siblings, Jada, Jeremiah, and Jaden.
Can you move out the
Don't push
way?
me no more.
Move out the way. Jeremiah, I will throw this orange juice on you.
No, stop that.
Of course, you can see that they've got some chemistry, if you can afford to call it that, but that's only when they're not being set up and used for content, which happens way more often than it should be allowed. But here's where it gets interesting, or controversial in this case, because there's another person in the picture, the man behind the camera, and as it turns out, the main villain in this story.
I just did 3 little videos, but before I was walking out the house, Jay was like, hey, did you hear about what your baby mama said to me? Miss Pickett told me what your baby mama put on the page about everything y'all got is fake. What time you done got on the designer? Whoa. And you better go hard for Jaden Plum. Hey.
Meet Ernest Lee, aka NFL Lee, or quite simply, Lee, as he's popularly called. And from the onset, his relationship with the kids is, well, complicated. See, he poses as a father figure to the kids, or so it seems.
Hey, they owe me big time. I'm telling them I ain't gonna post for a week.
Hey, look, you gonna post this.
Huh?
You gonna post this.
Man, I need to relax, man. How y'all bully?
It's only one day. It's only one day.
Bro, I gotta go to work in the morning at 3, bro. Y'all owe me. I don't.
But turns out he isn't their dad anyway, and he isn't even really their stepdad either, since he's not married to Jazz. The two have just been together for a long time now, and Lee has been an ever-present figure in the family ever since. But if you're wondering why he doesn't often appear in the videos, it's because of one thing: the fact that he is the original director of this content. The modern-day Steven Spielberg, if you may. And unfortunately for Jaleel, she's the star in what's shaping up to be a horror set.
My bad, I was just pranking you. You know your mama was driving to work today.
Why you do that?
With nearly 1 million followers on TikTok alone, there's no denying just how popular his account has become, and what people are finding strange is the fact that much of this fame came after he started posting content about Jaleel and her siblings. To be fair to Lee though, what he posts can pass as family content with a day-to-day documentary of the kids and how they relate with each other. But even that seems to be just a claim, which he very much leans into, by the way. However, these are not your typical family contents, are they? Exactly. Oh, and here's another thing that just doesn't add up. And it's the fact that he's got a little daughter of his, aside from Jaleel and her siblings, but she barely makes it into these clips.
Now let me pour the orange juice like I said.
Now you pour it. Okay.
Yeah, that's her. And it's true. She hardly ever appears in the videos, which begs the question, if this is just friendly everyday content as he claims, why doesn't he involve his own little girl in them? Well, while there's no real answer to that, it's also almost clear that he knows what he's doing and is deliberately putting Jaleel out there without even considering the implications. But before we talk about the implications, let's take a look at the exact type of content Lee creates and why it splits the fan base, plus why it's not fair to Jaleel. Well, a scroll through their TikTok page exposes one particular pattern. Videos featuring Jaleel often get the most views, and that's no coincidence. Generally, it's because of their exploitative nature. I mean, a lot of these videos feature her having several emotional reactions from crying,
No, you. Nah, you put the mayonnaise in the pickles, man.
to embarrassment.
What you say, what? What? You say what?
I'm the star.
So that's why you keep on walking around the house somebody record you?
Yeah.
Nah. I'm not gonna record you, man.
Record me.
To excitement sometimes. But if they're really preying on her emotions, then is it really entertainment? Well, as earlier stated, we're certainly not writing off the fact that Jaleel herself has what you'd typically consider as bad character, because she clearly does.
Bro, you just came from my daddy's house and you over here. I know that ain't my plate, bro. I know that ain't my plate, bro. If I go look in his ice box and it's not in here, I'm gonna be so mad, bro. Bro, why are you eating my plate, bro? You know I wanted that.
Yeah, that's Jaleel on a regular day. If she's not trying to take something that's not hers, then she's just straight up trying to get attention by throwing tantrums.
Stop.
But rather than check her and try to correct these behaviors, Lee and the family just see an opportunity to become famous and make some good old engagement bucks. But that's not even the craziest part. The worst of it all is when they exploit her love for food as content.
Look at her, y'all. Jaleel, you thinking about that pork chop, huh? Huh? Can't wait to get to that pork chop, huh?
So, as you may have noticed in a lot of these clips, the little girl is almost always eating or trying to pick up something to eat, or in most cases, crying over food.
Why you eat up all of it from her?
But something else you should also know is that's not entirely her fault. You see, being a food-centered person is one thing, which she obviously is, but it's a whole different thing when the people who are supposed to help you with what's clearly a problem are the ones enabling you, edging you on, and even making sure you get more than enough food to stuff yourself with just for personal gains.
You gonna put one back? Pick it up. Why would you put something in your hand? That's nasty. I want nothing you didn't touch, though.
Wait.
Take this clip, for example, and you'll see how she was made to take an extra piece than she was initially supposed to. Of course, you could say it's only fair that she takes it since she's already touched it, but what if it's also a pattern that has developed because the people around her encourage it? I mean, if you're even a little bit familiar with the content from this page, then you'll know it's something that tends to happen a lot.
Yes, sir. Get it up.
One.
Well, you have to eat both of them.
No.
Yeah, nah, take them. Take both of them. You can put your hand on them. Bye.
I'll make you a burger, Jeremiah. Come on.
Yeah, grab that meat, Jaleel.
That one
and you go,
Yeah.
Nah.
Double meat.
She's even been trained to get angry when she's not allowed to eat at will or given the food she wants when she wants it. And what do the parents do? Well, they just slam a camera in her face and flaunt her predicament to the corner of TikTok.
Leave me alone.
It's not that serious about no cookies.
Oh, what about cookies?
Girl. Let me have mine, bro.
Now, the real question is, at what point does it go from content to exploitation, and where does the line get crossed? Because obviously for a child that is already overweight, it doesn't take too much thinking to realize that the overfeeding is doing more harm than good, both now and in the long run. Heck, even the followers already see the danger in what they're making her do and often call it out in the comments. We're talking about a 9-year-old who's already hit 154 pounds in weight, which even came after she lost about 30 pounds.
I would say 154 now. Okay. Okay. 121. Okay. Y'all lost some weight that fast. Come on, Jay. That's mine. Just said 184.
183.
Yep, I lost it.
But since Jaleel is often the object of much of the content, it feels like the family, or Lee to be precise, would prefer for their golden goose to keep eating so the money keeps rolling in. Or at least that's what the critics are saying, and there just might be a little weight to that claim too. But even beyond the food and excess eating, you'd still find that the other content still circles back to Jaleel being the victim of questionable pranks and emotional manipulations that often raise eyebrows. We're not even talking about the general pranks that, like the time Lee lied to the kids that their mom died.
Yeah, bro. Bro, we alright. We doing good, bro.
My mama dead?
Yeah. I told you I should have counseling, bro.
Stop recording!
I got you, Jaleel. I got you. Don't cry, Jaleel. Don't cry, y'all. I got y'all, bro.
Stop recording!
Y'all get dressed up and check out and see y'all mama, bro.
I don't want to go to school.
Y'all get, huh?
I don't want to go to
Yeah, that's exactly what it seems. And if you find it uncomfortable, it's because it damn well is. I mean, there are pranks and then there's this emotional torture, because where do you get off making the kids miserable with such a questionable move? But beyond that, there's also the personal pranks that they play on Jaleel to get viral reactions out of her. Take this clip, for example.
Wrong way, come get your twin, man. Wrong way, come get your twin, man. Come get her, man.
See how they kept making fun of her even when she was clearly uncomfortable and looked like she was about to cry? Lee even went as far as calling her Rodway's twin, which is an obvious attempt at body shaming. But as if the bullying's not enough, he's always ready with a camera to her face to capture her crying or giving off any form of reaction. And then he always has something to say to her.
3, 2, 1.
You know, it's one thing to bully a child, and then it's a whole different form of oppression when you go ahead to video her crying and then post it on social media for the world to see. But that's the reality that Jaleel currently has to deal with, and it certainly got the whole internet talking.
What really bothers me is the parents constantly recording her and putting her business online. She's a child, she doesn't know any better because nobody taught her any better. And instead of protecting her, correcting the behavior, or actually getting her help, they're feeding into it and turning it into content. That's embarrassing her in real time, whether she understands it or not. If your child is struggling like that, the answer isn't a camera. It's structure, boundaries, real guidance, maybe even professional help.
Thankfully, when it comes to issues like this, the internet is never quiet for long, and while the views and engagements still keep reeling in, it's encouraging to see people calling out this form of abuse in the comments. Comments like this, where the user identifies what Jaleel is facing as proper bullying and abuse from her own people. Others are also calling out the fact that you can't just keep putting your children out there for the world to see their every move and not expect that there'd be effects of some form on their lives both in the present and in the future. The general consensus, however, is that the stepdad is a selfish and greedy dude who would rather exploit kids for views and money, not minding the implications. It's almost like he can go into any lengths and expose their lives to whatever as long as it suits his interests and as long as he's making money off them. There's even a wild accusation making the rounds of him checking out his daughters and even making nasty comments about their bodies, especially with Jaleel's elder sister Jada. There's also no forgetting that creepy ass video where he was chasing her when she got a towel on and was even like, "You better not leave your door open."
Look at Jada, y'all. Look at Jada. She be thinking she gonna catch me slipping for real. Ain't nothing over there. Get up out of here. You won't catch me slipping, bro. Bet. 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 You better not keep your room door open.
Yeah, that is as disgusting as you think it is. But what's even more insane is the fact that the mom was right there and didn't even say anything about it.
What you doing? What you doing? Cow. Cow. Cow.
It's such a mess indeed, and it's so viral that even creators are starting to talk about the neglect and obvious terrible parenting going on here.
Because something is clearly off. What really bothers me is the parents constantly recording her and putting her business online. She's a child, she doesn't know any better because nobody taught her any better. And instead of protecting her, correcting the behavior, or actually getting her help, they're feeding into it and turning it into content. That's embarrassing her in real time, whether she understands it or not. If your child is struggling like that, the answer isn't a camera. It's structure, boundaries, real guidance, maybe even professional help.
Thankfully, while the stepdad Lee has been identified as the main culprit, the mom isn't going scot-free either, and people are calling her out for the horrendous job she's doing as the mother of these kids, and rightly so too. This comment reads, "The mom bothers me a bit, like she's way too passive about everything." And it's almost like this user voiced the opinion of the entire comment section. I mean, even if the stepdad is treating them like that, she, as Jaleel's real mom, shouldn't just stand by and watch her daughter's life get ruined. The same daughter she's supposed to be going all out for to ensure people are not taking advantage of her situation to bully or oppress her. But it's like this next comment says, she's too weak. That's why she keeps a man that doesn't like her or respects her children. A section of the viewers has even threatened to report them to Child Protective Services on more than a few occasions, and you really can't help but feel it's actually warranted. But while the critics can't stop calling out Lee and Jazz, they're not without their supporters and sympathizers who are often quick to jump to their defense. Of course, Lee himself has not been blind to the criticisms he's been getting for his content, and he's even come out to debunk the accusations, claiming that he loves his kids.
The best thing that ever happened to me? Yeah. My children. My children. They changed me. They made me want to change to be a better father for them. Mm-hmm. And then what's so beautiful about my relationship with my children, I talk to them the way my grandfather, grandmother, everybody talked to me, just they gave me the real. Like, my grandfather always told us either you learn fast or you die young. So he didn't promote, like, adolescence. He promoted maturity.
He's also been quick to debunk rumors of him ever having any immoral thoughts towards his daughters.
Bro, they keep saying, obviously, you got something to prove. You still haven't denied it. Bro, don't you think I'll be in jail? No, I haven't touched on Jada, bro. No. Come on, man. Like, what else y'all want to hear now, man? Come on. Hey, I might well go. Hey, if If you want to interview me, send me 200. You can interview me, ask me all the questions you want to ask.
With Jazz even releasing another video to defend him.
Okay, if the videos show what you see, everybody gonna pick and choose on what they think, what they see. Of course, I know what I'm doing at the time, and I know what is right to do at the time.
But how true are his claims, though? How much does he truly care for his family if he goes out of his way to put them in uncomfortable situations? Well, a lot of people tend to point to the fact that the videos show he's a provider and he's constantly making sure Jazz and the kids get everything they need. I mean, he actually takes them out for shopping a lot, or at least he makes sure to record them when he does.
Y'all know what it is, man. They owe me big time, too. Knowing I gotta go to work in the morning, I gotta get up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Some of the videos also show them unboxing expensive gifts, although it's often not clear who the gifts are from.
Yeah, do the other side too, Jada.
Oh. Oh my God, bro.
But overall, he seems to be flaunting the narrative that these kids are living well and that he's a big factor in all of that. And then there's also the fact that they always got enough food to eat, more than enough sometimes, and even though that's like the basic requirement, you still gotta give them credit where it's due.
Thank you, Jay.
You're welcome.
Oh, look at that plate. I ain't want macaroni at first. If y'all can watch the YouTube video, y'all to see, bro. Plates looking fire. Ketchup and hot sauce.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good night.
Yes, sir. Look at that, bro.
And for the exposure part, well, the supporters are saying it's all just content and doesn't have to be blown out of proportion the way people are making it seem. They're also pointing out the fact that Lee's not the first account posting family content on social media, and it's most certainly not the only one.
Guys, you need to unfollow every single creator that puts their kids at the forefront of their content. I did this like last year, like a light bulb just switched in my head. I haven't ever been a fan of like family channels. I just don't understand what's interesting about watching a family live their life. Very often the girl mums that just put their kids in our faces constantly, to the point these kids have become memes.
There's also the argument that the kids aren't really complaining, and even Jaleel often feels closer to Lee than she does to her own mom. And surprise, surprise, there just might be some truth in that too. At least that's what the videos show.
What?
I miss you.
What's up? Good? That's how I get in the car before we can go.
Yeah, that's Jaleel vibing with Lee, but it surely doesn't negate the accusations, does it? I mean, the fact that he does all these things and still manages to be closer to the kids, that may only speak volumes about his manipulation skills and the glaring incompetence of the mom. After all, these kids are still minors, and there's no way they could have given their consent to all the exposure and exploitation, right? And besides, if there really isn't anything there, then why's CPS getting involved?
Popular TikTok kids were taken away from their mother by CPS, according to the stepfather, and this is what he had to say to the mother after.
Yeah, you heard that right. Child Protective Services already stepped into the matter, and according to the speculations, they already took the kids away once too. The reason? Well, videos like the one where Lee and Jazz connived to play a prank on the kids, telling them that their mom died of cancer while she was hiding in the garage all along.
Alright, bro. Hey, bro, we alright. We doing good, bro.
My mama, Dad.
Yeah.
Remember that? Great. So it turns out that one didn't sit well with a lot of people who had to mass report them to CPS and even at Jazz's workplace. Reports have it that Jazz allegedly lost her job as a result or for another related incident because each video just keeps getting more questionable than the last. Clips like that, and then this one where Lee apparently sent the kids to pour hot water on a stray dog.
Bite. They
tend to spark reactions, and rightly so too, because why are you recruiting innocent kids to help you out with your sick attempts at animal abuse? Luckily, word on the street is that CPS is getting involved again to look into the neglect and alleged abuse that people have been reporting about Jaleel and her sibling. But it sure wouldn't come as much of a surprise that this isn't the first time that CPS will be getting involved in this case.
Kids going to whatever, we know where they're going, but this, y'all gonna get these kids out of school early, bro.
Oh, that's the traumatized.
Bro, the bags,
like
bro.
that familiar.
No, so this CPS case where they just drop out bags like this.
Pack their bags and sign the papers that they wish to do.
Like, for real, honestly, it just leaves me.
Yeah, remember that time the protective services took the kids away and even threatened to take away their custody?
This is what y'all wanted to see, huh? This is what y'all wanted to see, huh? This is what y'all wanted to see. All they still packed up, huh? That's what y'all wanted to see, huh? That's what y'all wanted to see, huh? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. Them kids ain't came to the house from school yet. Still in their uniform, ain't took a bath or nothing, bro. Nothing, bro. Sad, bro. That's sad. I hope nobody else ever experienced this, bro. Never. I hope you never have a hatred bone in your body that make you want to report somebody. Come on, man. Y'all ain't see nobody standing on the corner. Y'all always see them kids fed. Y'all ain't never heard them say, I'm hungry.
Apparently, the kids eventually got released back to them, and they even had their eldest daughter make a video about how they don't appreciate people reporting them.
Basically, it was somebody that called CPS. They came to this house first, then they came to this house, then they came to the school. They asked us questions, and out of nowhere, it was just like a lady. She was a big, fat old lady, and I'm not trying to be funny or nothing. She taking pictures of us, recording us and stuff, and I'm wondering, and I have like a whole attitude with the lady. Cause first of all, why are you recording us? Second of all, why are you taking pictures of us?
But at the end of the day, though, you just have to wonder if it's really in their best interest that these kids, especially Jaleel, be taken away from what's appearing to be becoming a more toxic environment.
Yeah, I remember watching that video of those babies freaking out about their mom being potentially unalive, only to find out that it was a joke. I said then, and I'll say it now, that is no way to joke with no child. You will create some type of trauma inside of those kids.
Clearly, a lot of people already think so, and they straight up called it out in the comments. Some are even calling for Lee to be arrested, if not for anything, for the trauma he's causing the kids by making them his source of income. Of course, we have to go wait and see about the truth about the new CPS case and if they're truly getting involved again. But in the meantime, people are also asking why the algorithm keeps helping them push this questionable family content and what real impact it stands to have on the kids, especially Jaleel.
What happened, Jaleel? What happened?
I was trying to save Dama and they pushed me back from saving her.
Of course, the reason why NFL Lee keeps and his videos keep gaining popularity is because the internet, especially TikTok, tends to push content like this. Unfortunately for Jaleel, she usually ends up being the victim, and the effect could be even more lasting than people realize.
She got the car. When I told her to come get her food. Look how fast she got the car. Look at Say Soul Food got her doing it. Say Soul Food got her doing it. Say Soul Food. Look, you know Jaleel ain't never ran that fast for nobody. Jaleel ain't never ran that fast for nobody. Thank you. Look at her.
I mean, growing up online is one thing because we've definitely seen a fair share of parents document the growth of their kids on the internet, but when you become the object of harmful content like the one Jaleel is being made to endure, the impact can be telling. Firstly, the fact that she's being picked on at home by the same people who are supposed to stand up for her just makes her an easy target for bullies in school, in the playground, and even in the neighborhood. It's sad to say, but her weight condition already puts a target on her, especially since she's just a kid, so she definitely could do with more protection and less exposure, but the reverse seems to be the case.
What, girl?
How many minutes people take a bath?
It don't matter how many minutes people take a bath. It's about how many minutes you about to take a bath. Now go get in the tub.
Oh, and that's just one angle. There's also the fact that these things are bound to grow with her, because if there's one thing we know, it's that the internet has got a long memory. So flooding her digital footprint with clips of her getting humiliated, crying over food, getting picked on, and getting embarrassed means she'll have to live with these images long after she passes that phase, and the trauma can be telling. Plus, the fact that she never consented to any of these just makes it worse. And that's why there are more and more people advocating against child content on social media.
I don't know how we are in the year of 2026 and so many people still post their children online.
But at the end of the day, the truth remains that more kids are being subjected to the same fate in the name of the family vlog culture, and Jaleel's might just be one of the many such cases. The reality of parents subjecting their own kids to scrutiny and perhaps even ruining their chances at a normal life, all for clout chasing, makes no sense, but it's one that keeps popping up on timelines and internet feeds every day.
Okay.
Perhaps it's time for the internet to lend more voices to the cause and raise awareness about how this new trend is doing way more harm than good.
Jalea! Yeah, come wake up. We get this stuff up. Clean up for your mama get to the house.
See, there is content, and there is what this little girl is being made to go through, all in the name of family vlogging, and you can tell for sure that it certainly blurs the line.
Excuse me, man. What you doing? Jalea, you not in no... Oh. You better not... She made it, though. Pick it up. Go pick it up. You just got back.
I'm not picking him up.
If for any reason you have to post your kid online or use them for content, then it sure as hell doesn't have to feature clips of you playing inappropriate pranks on them. But, well, it seems everybody doesn't think the same, because for Lee especially, these kids might just be his ticket to their next meal, nothing more.
Y'all see the difference. The difference is, when Jay cook, I can come actually do a video to show y'all that she cook. By me recording the YouTube video, anybody could come in and show that Lee cooking. So I don't want to hear y'all say, watch your ass always cooking, because when you're Lee cooking, if y'all ain't seen it on YouTube, ain't nobody coming to record a TikTok or YouTube video, bro.
But when does it go too far, and where does the ethical line get drawn? I mean, it's got to even be deemed illegal at some point, right? Well, it's left to be seen just how far they're willing to go for clout and how much the internet's willing to ignore. In the meantime, though, it's definitely going to take a miracle for Jaleel to ever outgrow the effects of what her stepdad is doing to her and the heartbreaking degree of negligence being displayed by her mom. TikTok is where chaos makes its breeding ground. And when this type of chaos springs up before our very eyes, we can't help but let our jaws drop to the floor, eyes bulge out of their sockets, and ears widen 10 times more than an elephant's. Because not everyone would pan their camera to their faces and give us a 5-part story time on how her husband was sleeping with her daughter. Yes, her very own daughter. The character in today's story is this woman named Melaine. 52 years old, self-described artist, and the kind of woman who will look directly into a camera and tell you that everything she's about to say is her truth, her experience, and what happened to her. For this particular drama, 6 words was all it took, and TikTok lost its mind. Thousands of people in her comments overnight, calling the daughter every name available, sending Melaine money, telling her she was brave, telling her she deserved better, telling her they believed every word. And they did, because on the surface, a husband leaving his wife for her own daughter sounds like the kind of story that only happens in a Lifetime movie, the kind of betrayal so complete and personal that your brain can't help but pick a side immediately. But here's what those thousands of people didn't know when they flooded her comments.
Not one time ever have I said that anything will happen between my husband and my daughter. But you know what I do have? Lots of little breadcrumbs that led me to come to that conclusion.
She just laid breadcrumbs and let everyone else follow them to a conclusion she'd already built the road toward. And while thousands of strangers were in her comments calling her daughter every name in the book, the people who actually know this family were saying something very different.
Dear toxic family.
So here is the question that nobody asking did the affair happen has stopped to ask. What if the affair was never the real story? What if the real story is older than The Husband, the 5-part series, and this is just the latest chapter in something Melaine has been running her entire adult life, just with a bigger audience than she's ever had before?
You thought you were going to be able to just treat me any old way, and I was going to sit back and accept it and not tell people what you did? Dear toxic family, how mistaken are you?
To understand how we got here, you need to understand where here actually started.
So we have to go all the way back to June, July of 2024.
June 2024. Melaine and her husband, who we'll call Bob, were lying in bed one night in their home in Idaho when Bob said something that completely changed the direction of the next year of their lives.
I don't think I can... I'm worried that I'm going to hurt myself because I'm crumbling under the financial pressure of this relationship.
He was drowning financially. At least, that's how Melaine described it. According to her, he admitted he had maxed out their home equity line of credit around $50,000 on top of burning through every credit card they had. And she says she had no idea any of this was happening. Because their finances were split, separate bank accounts, Bob handled the bills, Melaine focused on her businesses, an art studio, online teaching, dog sitting. Whatever money came in from that went straight back into groceries, supplies, and keeping things afloat.
We lived in a home together that we purchased with my mom. She put in $251,000 cash as a down payment on our home. We put in like $38,000, I think, when we bought it together. When my mom passed away, I inherited her portion of our home. Okay, so I just want to preface that in this video.
And that detail matters early because later the entire question of who actually created the debt becomes one of the biggest fights in the story. Melaine has one version, other people involved have another, and the gap between those two versions is huge.
You know, I'm not mad about the money. I'm thinking, how can I fix this? How can I save my husband if he's thinking about hurting himself?
Melaine says her reaction was immediate problem-solving mode. Figure it out, keep moving, fix the situation first, panic later. Then, months later, the phone rang. It was her daughter.
So fast forward to August, and I get a phone call from my daughter, and she asks me if I'll fly out to Virginia. We were living in Idaho at the time. If I would fly out to Virginia to help paint her house.
Her daughter, 28 years old and living in Virginia, runs a TikTok account under the name McMath House. She had inherited a house from her biological father after he passed away in 2023, and she was deep into renovating it. Not casually renovating either. Full reconstruction, full content rollout. The Magnolia Network had already picked it up for a television show, and deadlines were getting close fast. She needed help desperately. And that detail about the father matters too, because this wasn't just some random inherited property sitting on a quiet street somewhere. This was her father's house, the man she had chosen to live with after her parents split when she was a child. The same man Melaine would later accuse of turning the child against her for years. That history had already been sitting underneath this family long before anybody packed a U-Haul. So Melaine went, and according to her, she worked non-stop once she got there, painting the entire house herself. 3 floors, doors, trim, starting around 6 in the morning and ending close to 11 at night.
On the day that they were taping the show, I was still painting. Like, I was painting from 6 o'clock in the morning until 11 o'clock at night some days. Just me by myself. So I saved the day, we do the taping.
In her version of events, she came in and saved the project. Those are basically the terms she describes it in, and while she was there, she told her daughter about the financial situation back home. The debt, Bob's mental state, everything collapsing at once, and by Melaine's own telling, the daughter responded generously.
So she says, why don't you guys come live with me and my boyfriend? They were living in the house together. Why don't you come live with us and I can get your husband a job at the place where I work?
A job offer, a place to stay, help paying off the debt, a fresh start. On the surface, it sounded like a daughter stepping in after hearing her mother was struggling, like an attempt to rebuild something that had been broken for years. What Melaine left out in this section, though, was how fragile that relationship already was. Because according to the daughter later on, the two of them had barely been in contact for years. There'd already been distance, estrangement, long stretches of separation, and the reconnecting only really happened after her father died in 2023. She was grieving, trying to reconnect with family and rebuild something. And during that window, she invited her mother back into her life, then into her home.
He talks to the owner of the company, okay, and the company is a home construction company, and there's 4 employees at this place, and my daughter's one of the employees, okay? So it's super small. And oh, by the way, I want to preface this video by letting you know that while we were living in Idaho, and for 7 years that we were living there, my husband worked for my brother's company. That's been in my family my whole life. My grandfather started it. So he was working for my family business when we left, moved to Virginia, and started staying with my daughter. So he takes the job interview on a Thursday. And on Friday, the guy offers him the job. On Sunday, he's on a plane to Virginia to stay with my daughter and to start his new job.
Bob accepted the construction job and moved first, working alongside the daughter at the same small company connected to the renovation work. Meanwhile, Melaine stayed behind in Idaho for another 8 weeks, trying to dismantle an entire life piece by piece, selling belongings, closing down parts of her businesses, packing years of living into a U-Haul trailer. Then she drove across the country alone with her dog, heading toward what she believed was going to be a reset.
Living my life out in Idaho, like, you know, thinking I'm getting ready to sell my dream home. I'm going to live with my daughter. We're going to travel. We're going to get to spend time with my kids. It's going to be amazing. And I'm so excited.
She arrived in Virginia.
They acted like they weren't even happy that I was there.
And according to her, almost immediately, things felt wrong.
So I get there, and I've been on the road for 4 days, mind you, okay? And they've known I'm coming for 2 weeks. And I get there with a tiny little U-Haul, expecting them to have a room cleared out for me to unpack my office so I can get to work. and they haven't even cleaned the room out.
She argued with her daughter for 3 days about unpacking. The daughter told her she needed to paint the room before moving her stuff in. Melaine, who had just driven cross-country after spending 8 weeks dismantling their Idaho life piece by piece, had to leave everything in the U-Haul while she painted. Now, stop right there. Because if you go back to part 1, Melaine told everyone she had already gone to Virginia earlier that year and painted the entire house. Everything. 6 in the morning to 11 at night.
I stayed at my daughter's house and I painted the whole entire home. 3 floors, doors, all the stuff, trim.
But now she had arrived to move in permanently and was suddenly being told to paint a room before she could even unpack, which raised a simple question almost nobody in her comment section asked. If she painted the whole house, why was there still a room that needed painting? The daughter's own page tells a completely different story. Video after video shows her doing the work, mopping the original 1910 hardwood floors herself, renovating, rebuilding, documenting the process, but nowhere was there footage of Melaine painting 3 floors alone for 2 straight weeks. According to the daughter, Melaine painted 1 room, the office she wanted for her own studio, and she only painted it because the daughter told her to do it before moving her things in. 1 room, not 3 floors, not some last-minute rescue mission before the cameras arrived, but that 1 room became the foundation of Melaine's sacrifice narrative, the proof of everything she claimed she had done, the thing she kept bringing up over and over again.
She flies out here because I'm like, can you help me? Literally the first time I've asked her for help probably in my entire adult life. I buy her plane ticket, she flies out here, she paints the remaining things in the house. I have already hired painters. I think it was a $3,000 invoice to spray prime my entire house, which is why the walls are white. That's what primer is. You have to prime walls before you paint them. They back roll the spray. They finished the first floor entirely, all the doors, everything. I paint the 3rd floor. She does the trim in the bathroom upstairs and the exterior doors. She helps me, but then she uses this against me. So it wasn't like she really wanted to help me because she's my mom. She's doing it because then she's gonna weaponize it against you later.
And there's another layer here that Melaine herself almost revealed without realizing it. She mentioned that the daughter wanted to be featured on the Magnolia Network show. She said part of the reason she came to paint was because she expected to end up on camera. But when the filming happened and she wasn't featured because she had only painted 1 room and not the entire house, the story shifted. Suddenly it became, I painted everything and nobody acknowledged me. Meanwhile, the daughter's renovation had already been documented for months on her own page. Every repair, every floorboard, every project. But somehow the story got reframed into Melaine swooping in and saving the entire renovation herself.
I save the day, we do the taping.
Moving on, the living situation had apparently been tense from the beginning. By Melaine's own account, her daughter started giving her the silent treatment almost immediately. She complained about Melaine smoking weed, even though the daughter and her boyfriend smoked too.
She's upset that I'm smoking cannabis, which is ridiculous because she smokes it and so does her boyfriend.
Then came the complaints about cleaning products, cleaning methods, the way Melaine mopped floors that the daughter had already shown herself mopping in her own videos. And then Melaine started talking about the daughter's boyfriend. That was where things started getting interesting.
She didn't love him, she didn't want him there, but she knew she couldn't afford it without his money.
According to Melaine, her daughter hated her boyfriend, complained about him constantly, said he drank too much, said she wanted him gone and only kept him around because he helped pay the mortgage. Now here's the problem with that version of events. The daughter had been with this man for over 5 years. He appeared all over her page. They traveled together, lived together. By every public indication, they looked like a stable couple. But in Melaine's version, the relationship was miserable. And that detail conveniently set up the implication that the daughter might have been looking somewhere else. Meanwhile, Bob and the daughter were getting along. They worked together, came home together, built the kind of easy familiarity that happens when 2 people spend 8 hours a day in the same environment. And Melaine watched all of it from the outside.
They were always talking about their job and laughing together, and it was like this real buddy club, but I wasn't included.
Melaine eventually started setting boundaries. She asked Bob to stop discussing their marriage with her daughter. She said he was treating the daughter like a confidant by venting about private marital issues to a 28-year-old woman who already had unresolved problems with her mother. But according to Melaine, Bob told her he wasn't going to stop.
I was setting a hard boundary, and he told me in the car that day that he would not stop speaking to my daughter about our relationship.
And honestly, that specific issue was legitimate. A husband refusing to stop discussing his marriage with his wife's daughter while they lived together and worked together every day was a real boundary problem, but Melaine didn't stop there.
The fact that both of them had been smearing my name to my family, to my father, to my brothers, to my best friend, to people around town, just telling them that I was lazy, that I refused to get a job, that I maxed out all of his credit cards.
According to her, the two of them were basically running a coordinated campaign against her, telling people she was a drug addict, financially irresponsible, lazy, refusing to work. The daughter's version of events painted a different picture entirely, and it led right back to the debt. Because according to the daughter, and later confirmed by Bob himself, the financial problems weren't caused by him, they were caused by Melaine. An expensive marijuana habit, a timeshare she pressured Bob into buying after promising she'd get a job to help pay for it. A job she never got. Years of loans and maxed out credit cards supporting a lifestyle funded almost entirely by one person.
Is really what most of her relationship issues tie back to. With my dad, with her second husband, you want to be swiping the credit card on this, that, and the other, but you don't want to.
Bob, the man Melaine described as financially destroying their lives, had apparently been the sole provider throughout the entire relationship, and nobody outside Melaine's own version of the story disputed that, but Melaine's version was the one going viral. And the story she told those people was everything that would get her sympathy at first listen. A woman sacrificed everything for a man who betrayed her with her own daughter. What she left out was the fact that she cheated on him first.
A couple days later, I get a text message on my phone, and it's from the pharmacy in town. And it says my husband's name, and it says you have a prescription ready.
At this point, Melaine was back in Idaho, overseeing the sale of the house, while Bob stayed behind in Virginia. She slept on a mattress on the floor while getting everything ready for the new owners. According to her, the two of them fought constantly and hadn't been intimate in 6 months. She blamed all of that on the tension inside her daughter's house. And then a pharmacy notification showed up on her phone. Because of her background working in pharmacies, Melaine knew a prescription like that didn't just appear out of nowhere. It had to be discussed, requested, and approved. So this automatically means somebody had asked for it.
Little blue pill prescription for my husband. And I said, why did he do that? Because we hadn't been having for 6 months because we were living in my daughter's house.
When she asked Bob who the prescription was for, he told her it was just to make himself feel better.
And I said, who is that for? What do you mean you've never had a problem with that before? What is this? And he goes, oh, well, I did ask for it because I just got it. I got it to make me feel better.
And somewhere between that answer and everything else already happening in the house, the affair theory took shape in her mind. Now, to be fair to Melaine for a second, finding out your husband ordered that kind of prescription while living under your daughter's roof after months of emotional distance would absolutely raise alarm bells. That was a real moment of suspicion, a real question. But Bob never publicly elaborated beyond that explanation, and Melaine, already isolated and suspicious, filled in the blanks herself.
At this point, I point blank asked him if there was something going on between him and my daughter.
He denied it, but by then she already had what felt like a pattern. They worked together, they traveled together, they went on a 5-day work trip to Las Vegas with coworkers and their boss. And after they came back, the daughter apparently stopped speaking to Melaine completely.
He comes home from the airport with him, walks in, doesn't even say hello to me. I was washing the dishes, I'll never forget it. She walked right by me, went upstairs, didn't say anything to me, and then just went on a silent treatment.
From the outside, it was a normal business trip, but inside that house, nothing felt normal anymore. This was already a family drowning in resentment and suspicion, a wife who felt frozen out, a husband refusing to stop confiding in her daughter, a daughter who had already gone through estrangement with her mother once before. So when they came back from Vegas and the silence got worse, Melaine connected the dots in the worst possible way. A prescription she never asked about, a trip she wasn't part of, a daughter who completely shut her out afterward. To her, those weren't random details anymore. They were breadcrumbs, and she followed them straight to a conclusion she could never prove.
And I'm never going to say that something will happen because I can't prove that. All I know is what happened to me and what it looks like.
She always phrased it carefully enough to avoid directly saying it. And then she posted this. Because technically, she never outright accused them of an affair, but she structured the sentence in a way that practically forced people toward that conclusion. My husband left me for my daughter. Not my husband left me and sided with my daughter. Not my husband left me and got close to my daughter. For my daughter, that wording carried the entire implication. action, and it worked. Thousands of strangers saw 6 words and immediately filled in the rest themselves. The daughter got flooded with insults. Melaine got sympathy, support, prayers for healing journey. What almost none of them knew yet was that the marriage had apparently ended because Melaine cheated on Bob and admitted it herself. That's from Bob himself. He sent that message to this YouTuber, Amy Robinson. The same man Melaine portrayed as part of some conspiracy with her daughter publicly stated that he didn't ask for a divorce until after she cheated and posted about it online. The affair that ended the marriage wasn't between Bob and the daughter. According to him, it was Melaine's affair that ended everything.
The closing, it's like 6:15 and my husband and I are laying in bed and I woke up and I felt him like staring at me.
This was the scene Melaine repeated more than any other. The exact time, the way he looked at her in the dark, the way he rested on his fist while staring at her. She described every detail. According to her, they had just spent 3 good nights together in Idaho. They'd looked at property together, talked about the future, acted like things were improving. And then at 6:15 in the morning, he was sitting there staring at her.
And I said, what? And he goes, I talked to a lawyer. And I said, about what? And he said, a divorce.
Her first question was whether he had already told her daughter about the divorce. He didn't answer, so she asked again.
He told my daughter several weeks before that he had got an attorney about a divorce.
And honestly, regardless of everything else in this story, that part landed. A husband telling his wife's daughter he planned to divorce her before telling his wife herself was a real betrayal. That was genuinely cruel. So according to Melaine, she pulled over during the drive back to Virginia and cried for 4 hours in a gas station parking lot while Bob stayed in the car behind her on his phone. That image was painful, and she had every right to feel hurt by it. But again, the part of her series never fully addressed was why Bob said he filed for divorce in the first place. According to him, it wasn't because of the daughter, it wasn't because of the tension in Virginia, it was because Melaine cheated on him and posted about it online. Look at the craziness. 5 parts of storytelling, thousands of people believing a man abandoned his wife for her daughter. Meanwhile, the actual reason for the divorce sat buried in a comment most people never saw, because once a viral narrative spreads first, corrections almost never catch up to it. The first version becomes the permanent version in people's minds. And Melaine understood that. She never needed hard proof, she only needed repetition. 5 parts, endless implication, a cash app in the bio, and by then, other voices finally started speaking up. The ex-husband, the daughter's friend, and eventually the daughter herself. But the daughter stayed mostly quiet for a reason, because she understood something important. Any response would become more fuel for the story. Let's start with the friend.
TikTok drama is not fucking funny when you know the people actually involved, and I wish that y'all would realize.
She came forward because Melaine crossed a line she couldn't ignore anymore. She posted photos of the daughter's dead grandmothers and asked what they would think about what the daughter had done. Meanwhile, according to everyone around her, the entire story was false from the start.
Meaning you don't even have enough respect for the dead to stop lying on your own child. You don't have enough respect for yourself to stop lying on your own child.
The friend had spent months telling the daughter not to respond. Ignore it, stay quiet, let people talk. But dragging dead relatives into a public accusation was the moment she stopped staying silent.
I know her daughter. Her daughter's in a relationship. She did not do nothing to that fucking lady. That lady's some type of narcissist.
Then the daughter responded herself, quietly, with one post and this caption. Sometimes you have to watch your mom publicly accuse you of sleeping with her husband and go about your day. This was no 5-part playlist, donation links, or dramatic series. Just a photo with the man she'd already been dating for 5 years and a caption that said enough on its own. She wasn't with the stepfather. She never had been. Here was her real boyfriend, her real relationship, end of story. But Melaine screenshotted the post immediately, posted it on her TikTok with a caption, "You've just sealed your fate," to her own daughter, publicly in front of millions of people. You've just sealed your fate. That didn't sound like a hurt mother defending herself, it sounded like a threat. And honestly, it explained more about their relationship than the entire TikTok series ever did. Because according to the daughter, this behavior didn't suddenly appear after the videos went viral. This had been the pattern for years.
Was she a good mother to you when you were a little girl? Absolutely not. My earliest memories are of me hiding in the closet, scared of her, of my life, calling my dad at work, being like, please help.
The daughter described a childhood built around fear, physical outbursts, verbal attacks, constant emotional explosions anytime her mother felt challenged or questioned. Instead of growing up normally, she grew up learning how to manage her mother's moods. Then came the part that completely changed everything happening now. When the daughter was 10 years old, Melaine cheated on her biological father with a man she met at a bowling alley. The marriage collapsed, but instead of admitting what happened, she built a different version around the story.
This woman cheated on my dad came up with a whole story, a whole victim story just like this.
According to the daughter, Melaine went around their town telling people her father was abusive, dangerous, horrible, and she told her own children the same thing. And because the daughter was only 10, she believed it.
Her friends, her family out in Idaho. I'm getting nasty grams in the mail from her mom talking about she's disowning me as her granddaughter. This is the level of fictitious storytelling this lady does.
Eventually, someone outside that version of events stepped in. The daughter sat down with her father, heard his side, started piecing things together for herself, and slowly she realized the story she'd grown up believing wasn't true. Then she moved in with him. She rebuilt a relationship with her father over the years while Melaine kept trying to tear it apart. And when he died, leaving the daughter the house she's renovating now, Melaine reportedly made the funeral about herself too.
And my dad died, and naturally, I think me and my little brother just wanted someone. And we just kind of overrided everything we knew about her and still invited her to come out. And it was so bizarre. From the moment she got in the house, she was just hysterical. Bawling on the floor, throwing tantrums in my dad's chair, in my dad's bed. Just all this really, really weird behavior. And mind you, when my dad was alive, this was the same lady telling me she couldn't wait until my dad died.
The same father Melaine had spent years painting as the villain and allegedly tried to separate her child from. Then, after he died, she showed up at the funeral performing grief for a relationship she'd already destroyed years earlier. Then she moved into the house he left his daughter. And according to the daughter, she burnt that relationship down too on the way out.
She lashes out on people because she has this deep-seated trauma and shame around certain things that she's done in her life that she doesn't understand why she's done them.
Moving on.
And when I got in that storage unit, I was so angry when I started. And I destroyed everything in that storage unit. And I recorded it and I made a TikTok video.
A storage unit held nearly a decade of memories, wedding photos, awards, family heirlooms, personal belongings. Melaine walked inside and started destroying everything. She filmed herself doing it and uploaded the videos on TikTok. She smashed Bob's belongings, broke things apart, scattered glass over the mattress, made a video while laughing in her car. People cheered her on, told her Bob deserved it, supported her because they only had one side of the story. But there was one detail people kept ignoring. She was laughing through all of it.
They're coming for me! They're coming for me!
She framed the entire thing like a victory lap, and thousands of strangers applauded her for it. Meanwhile, according to the daughter, Melaine had also started driving past her workplace, banging on windows, yelling, creating scenes big enough that police eventually got involved. And for the daughter, that fear wasn't new. It matched the same fear she'd described from childhood. Melaine claimed they reported for the fun of it. Bob's version sounded much simpler. He wrote, "We did not have her committed. We agreed to check the box for a mental health eval when Virginia filed charges. She failed the eval. The sheriff thought it would de-escalate her if they kept her for evaluation. Nothing sinister or malicious." Virginia filed charges because of the destruction she filmed herself committing online. During that process, authorities checked the box for a mental health evaluation. Then professionals evaluated her and decided she needed to stay. Not Bob or the daughter, the facility made the decision. That part gets buried inside Melaine's version of events. The facility kept her because she failed the evaluation. She stayed there for 7 days before her father signed her out early. According to the daughter, Eller relatives had hoped she would finally receive serious treatment.
That it turned into a 30-day hold, but it was actually because she got a hold of her dad and called her dad. And these are just things she's telling me. Like I said, I don't even know what to believe anymore, ever.
Right.
But that her dad had signed something to say that he'd be responsible for her or whatever, and that's how she got out after 7 days.
After she returned home, Melaine posted part 5.
Melaine was served an ECO after she was posting multiple videos depicting her decompensating behavior. Melaine was seen destroying marital property inside of a storage unit on TikTok.
She read her paperwork out loud on camera as proof she'd been wrongfully targeted. Even the documentation referencing her destroying property on TikTok became, in her mind, evidence of conspiracy. Then she reached the part mentioning her daughter.
Their involvement with the person's health care, including their location and general condition. And guess what? My daughter objected. She objected to the hospital letting her know where they were taking me.
Melaine framed it as betrayal, but in reality, objecting to notification meant the daughter didn't want involvement in her mother's treatment decisions or updates. Considering everything that had already happened, that sounded less like abandonment and more like a boundary, a necessary one, especially from someone who had already spent years trying to manage behavior like this.
To post her daughter's deceased grandmothers and say, I wonder what they would think of you knowing what you did, knowing you're fucking lying. Knowing you're fucking lying.
This stopped looking like ordinary family drama a long time ago, because Melaine wasn't only telling the story anymore, she was benefiting from the attention around it financially. Then shortly afterwards, she upgraded to a larger truck and camper. And the more attention the story got, the more emotional the content became, because Melaine understood exactly how to keep people invested. She knew when to cry, when to sound defeated, when to sound angry, when to post something vague enough to deny later, but specific enough to plant an idea in people's heads. That's when the posts themselves started becoming part of the performance. She'll post a video about toxic daughters, then immediately post something about all men being cheaters, then go back to, I never said they were together. Each post does its work. Each one nudges the audience a little further toward the conclusion she's laid out. And then when people say she's implying it, she says she's not implying anything. When people in the comments demanded proof, she promised receipts, but always failed to deliver.
Somebody says it didn't. They say, oh, well, it didn't happen how you think. And then they say, it did happen again. And then they say, I'm going to post receipts come Monday. Monday comes, there's not a receipt in sight. Just a completely different version of the story she told.
At one point, the daughter privately messaged someone spreading the rumors and simply tried to deny the accusation quietly. That person immediately forwarded the screenshots to Melaine. Then Melaine posted them publicly and treated them as evidence of guilt.
She messages someone and that person's like, no, I believe her, and sent the screenshot to her mom. Her mom posts the fucking screenshot. And it's like, oh, you seem guilty because you're defending yourself.
Defend yourself and you're guilty, stay quiet and you're suspicious. There was no correct response once the internet had already decided on the ending, so the daughter mostly stopped responding. She kept posting about renovations, kept posting her boyfriend, living normally. According to the daughter, all this wasn't a sudden breakdown. What Melaine showed us was a pattern repeating itself again. Melaine's first marriage reportedly ended because she cheated. According to the daughter, Melaine herself originally got involved with a married pharmacist in the 1990s. He already had a wife and children when their relationship started, meaning the exact accusation Melaine aimed at her daughter was something she herself had done years earlier.
She was the pharmacy tech. The pharmacist was in his late 40s, married with 2 kids, and she slept with that man, got pregnant, and that's how I was born. So, like, the irony of this whole thing is not lost on me. Like, why are you accusing me of something that you harbor such deep shame over? It's weird.
Same cycle. Cheat, rewrite the story, become the victim, turn people against the other side. Only this time the audience wasn't a small town, it was TikTok. As of now, Melaine is still posting on TikTok. The legal situation is still ongoing too. There's a criminal case tied to the destruction of Bob's property, including the camper, storage unit, awards, and family heirlooms. Then there's the civil lawsuit Melaine says she's filing against Bob and the daughter. Meanwhile, Bob still works for Melaine's family in Idaho. The same family she claims turned against her still kept him around, still considers him family. He lives in Idaho, the daughter lives in Virginia. Not exactly the setup people imagine when they hear the story TikTok turned viral. I care for her, and I want her to get help and find peace. That's coming from the man she accused of conspiring with her daughter against her. Meanwhile, the daughter kept renovating the house. She never launched a giant response campaign, never made a long expose series. She posted one photo with her boyfriend, one caption, then she went back to work. Because people who know the truth don't always feel pressure to perform it publicly. Sometimes they keep living normally and let time speak for itself. Then there are people who keep filming, keep posting, keep feeding the story because the audience itself becomes part of the validation. Melaine keeps filming, the daughter just keeps, well, renovating. And somewhere between those two things sits the real story.